Welcome back to a new video. So this is a couple of different sessions. So this first one is the one I did on Sunday, where I did some light weightlifting stuff, followed by some heavy back squats, just like the previous day, but this session was focused on repetitions. So instead of just going up to a heavy single or a heavy rep set, I did a set of 5 at 70, 120, 170, and at 200, which surprisingly felt really good. Wasn't really expecting to do it for 5. I was kind of just like, if I do it for 1, it might feel heavy, especially because I lifted heavy the previous day. It's like I probably can do it double. Anything more than that, it was kind of just, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But the set of 5 felt pretty manageable. I even thought in the back of my mind as I did the 5th one, that's like I could kind of go crazy and do more. But my best set ever with 200 is for 7 reps. So, I mean, that's right there. And when I did that 7 reps before, I was going hard to do that 7. And this one was, I was still obviously trying, but it was certainly a lot more casual. So that was kind of interesting how that was. And this right here is a press plus push press here with 100. I haven't pressed 100 in a couple of weeks, maybe even a month. So it was kind of nice getting up to that 100 again. And then moved up to this 115 push press, which honestly felt really easy, both the power and the push press. But then I tried 130. And it just was pushed into the bottom for the power clean attempt, and then the push press just wasn't there, which, this wasn't really the focus of the session. I just wanted to mostly just do, some sort of push press like that 115, so I kind of accomplished that goal. The next day, I did block work, which went fantastic. Was really, really happy with how both lifts went, more so with the snatches and the clean jerks. I got really close to doing a 2+2 with 143. Last week I did 140 for a 2+2. This week I was able to do 2 cleans, missed the first jerk with the first 143, and then on the second one I did the 2 cleans again, the first jerk, and got really close on the second one. It's one of those reps. I don't think that the shed made a difference, but also I didn't have any space to try to do anything crazy to save it, but it was decently close where I was starting to stabilize it. So it tells me that next week I might be able to do that. Maybe I'll try 145 for a 2+2 at that same. But been really liking the low blocks. They've been challenging me in a kind of a nice way to where I really have to be patient in the pull. If I'm kind of jerking it too fast off the boxes, then I can kind of feel that, and it kind of pulls me out of position. So being patient right as I start, and then just being doing the normal pull throughout the rest has really continued to put it in a good position. But just doing doubles with that. So I did doubles up to 110, and I didn't have any misses. And then did 120, so I was really happy with that. I have done 125 off low blocks before. I don't honestly know if I've done more. Maybe like 127. It's kind of odd because I feel like I definitely could do similar to what I do up the blocks above the knee. I definitely feel like it's easier to do that, but I'm not really sure if I've done 130. I feel like I potentially have. I've cleaned 160 from the low blocks, so it's a position that doesn't really, let's say, compromise me. There are some positions that you go in, like hang snatches for me or hang lifts, are ones where I'm not really going to get up to similar numbers as I would from like block snatches in particular. I definitely like low block cleans more so than high block cleans, just because the position it puts me in feels a lot more natural, and like I actually have time to pull. And that's kind of one of the reasons I decided to just go with low blocks. For first, they're really easy to set up because these lower blocks, they just sit in the shed right in front of, or just in the shelf right there, so they're really easy to get out and in, or get out and then put back in. So that part is nice. Yeah, that was the 120 there. I was really happy with that. Definitely felt heavy, so I didn't want to try to go up with that. But was happy to able to hit that, able to take the 110 to 120 jump as well, which is nice. And then clean jerks, the 70 and the 110, that just feels really light. It's kind of neat when I think back of old lifts and stuff, just how 110 used to be for everything, and now it's just like, I won't say an afterthought, but like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it for a quick 2x2 and not really even be worried about it, not really have to get hyped up, not really have to do anything special for it, just go up and do the weight, and really could just do for a set of 10 if I really wanted to do 10 cleans or whatever. But I'm actually curious about a set like that, but I ain't trying to do CrossFit, so There's an easy 2x2 with there. Also like how my hair gets progressively more crazy as I train, just because I keep messing with it. I don't even know why. It just it gets sweaty and then I just push it up and style it for whatever reason. But here's the first attempts. The cleans both felt really good, and I just pushed the jerk forward. It wasn't, and also it was like the re-rack was also kind of weird. You can't really tell on video, but it was kind of really sitting weird in my left hand. So I don't think it threw me off. I've done jerks with that feeling before, but it certainly didn't help. And I look more dramatic when I missed there than it actually was. Second one, was definitely worried that I was going to miss it again, but I kind of figured that, at worst, that I just did, 4 reps at 143 in the clean. So I kind of approached it in that regard. So here is the second clean, which moved well as well too. And the same thing happened with my hand, where it's just kind of like caught in a weird position. So I spent more time re-racking. First jerk I was happy with, especially after the previous cleans. Happy with how I was able to get it. And the second one you see really close, and just didn't have any space to start running it forward. So it's definitely close, but it's one of those things that's like, it gives me something to try to achieve the next week, or maybe like I said, like 145 or something would be kind of nice to do. These are just some pulls that I did after. So I did a set of 3 with 110, with 140, and with 160. Strangely, I felt a little bit of a twinge, not in any way that limited me, because you'll see the next day I trained normally, but I felt my left shoulder a little bit on a pull of all things. I didn't feel it on anything else. I was like, that felt kind of weird, but not really, it's just pulls, so I wasn't really too worried about it. But definitely something I was paying attention to, and probably just, the motion of pulling, locking your scaps in or whatever, just kind of shifted things around a little bit. But I don't know. Here are the snatch balances I did today. So was able to get up to 140 for a single. Kind of tried 130 for a double. Wasn't really happening. So missed the second one, and it wasn't really close, but the first one felt good. Last week I missed 130 the first time I made it for a single, so obviously happy to make more weight and to even have the thought of doing 130 for a double, which I feel like I've done before. I've definitely done 125 for a double, but doubles in the snatch balance are really difficult. Really difficult. But definitely happy with this first one here. It wasn't perfect, but felt confident enough to at least give the second one a try. But you see, kind of just pushed it forward and immediately just kind of was like, nope, not happening. It's always funny how I kind of just laugh after all the misses, just because it's just like, nope, not happening, not even close. But here he's able to do 140. My best ever snatch balance, I want to say, is 145 or 150. I honestly forget what it is. I know I've snatched push press 150, 155, I think, actually. But snatch balances are obviously a lot more difficult. Push presses went well. I did this 70 for a double, 110 for a double, and then was able to do 130 for a difficult single, and then moved on to some front squats. So front squats went pretty well. I went from 70 to 120, and then took a big jump to 160 for doubles. I was really happy with how the 160 move. When I had this session last week, I actually missed 170 for the first rep. So it's odd when that happens, but sometimes it's just, with me in front squats, sometimes I just miss a rep, even if it's a weight that's, conceivably one I should always kind of be able to do, even if it's difficult. It's kind of like a 180 back squat, at least in my mind. I guess maybe the equivalent would be like a 200 back squat, relative to that front squat as far as the intensity goes. But it's one that I'm like always assume I can do. And then I did this 180 here for the first rep. I kind of tried it for a single, and it was kind of funny. I didn't even get, I sat down, I was like, oh, there's nothing left, and it actually pushed back the racks, which they just slide under the shelves, so it's not like they really get damaged or anything like that. But a couple of productive sessions. The only thing that wasn't shown on there, I did some stationary bike in the morning, which only did it for like 5 minutes just to elevate my heart rate a little bit. And obviously, I'm still walking around a lot at school, but I'm also going to do some upper body hypertrophy work, which I haven't done yet, but planning on doing that before I head off to bed, just for the biceps and triceps, just so I can get some of that upper body work in. And on that last day, actually, they cut the sleeves off those shirts. The Champion shirts, I don't know what it is. They're double XLs, but the shoulders and stuff feel like super constricting, and I don't know. It's weird. I don't really have that with other shirts, especially double XLs. Usually they fit me a little baggy, but those ones, they just don't really have any sort of stretch or give. So Kind of annoying, but at the same time, I guess you see how white and pasty my arms are. If I had a nice little bodybuilder spray tan, I might look a little bit more muscular, but unfortunately my skin looks like tinfoil in the sun, so I do apologize for that glare that was probably noticed throughout with the last clips there. But anywho, that's going to be it for this one. I'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.